Hello everyone, my name is Ian. I'm 38 years old, and I live with my 6-year-old daughter, who will be starting first grade soon. Her name is Hun, but at home, we lovingly call her Tina. Right now, I'm unemployed, because it's become very difficult to find a job at my age. Another reason is that my daughter is still young, and I can't leave her home alone while I go to work. So I decided to start my own small online business and work on building YouTube channels. I hope they'll eventually earn enough to support the two of us. Although it's been challenging and the income is still quite small, I'm grateful for the life we have. Through these videos, I simply want to share our everyday life on the outskirts of a city in Vietnam, a peaceful, simple way of living. Every morning feels like a fresh blessing to me. I start the day by feeding my fish, admiring the flowers I've planted. I truly enjoy keeping fish and taking care of my plants. They bring me a sense of peace, brighten my days, and remind me to appreciate the simple happiness in life. A peaceful morning surrounded by flowers and greenery helps ease the stress, worries, and headaches that life sometimes brings. And making myself a cup of coffee. Adding a little sweetened condensed milk to a bag of Vietnam coffee makes it much richer and more flavorful. Just 2 packets of coffee, a pot of tea, and an electric kettle are all I need to start my morning feeling refreshed and full of energy. In Vietnam, many families and small business owners have an altar dedicated to the god of wealth and the earth god. It's a traditional folk belief that brings good fortune and prosperity to the family, and I hope it will bring us a little luck as well. When my daughter wakes up, the first thing she does is neatly fold her blanket. Brush her teeth and have breakfast. My little girl loves having long hair. She often tells me that she dreams of having hair as long as Rapunzel's, and she wants me to brush it for her every day as she grows up. Children really do see the world so simply, but as her hair gets longer, bath time becomes quite an adventure. Washing it, brushing it, tying it up, and after a day of playing, her hair always ends up tangled and messy. It can be quite a challenge, but it's also one of those little moments I'll always cherish. My own breakfast is very simple. Just a packet of instant noodles that costs about 3,000 Vietnamese dong, or around 12 cents, which is incredibly affordable. Instant noodles are incredibly popular in Vietnam for a few simple reasons. They're quick to prepare, very affordable, come in a wide variety of flavors, and suit the local taste. For many Vietnamese people, they also carry memories of childhood and more difficult times. Even today, they're still a reliable meal for students, workers, and people with modest incomes like me, whenever we need something inexpensive and filling. I also enjoy a bagged Vietnamese coffee that costs about 15 cents. That's all I need for a simple breakfast at home. While I'm cooking rice, my daughter takes out her workbook and practices writing the alphabet before she starts first grade. The transition from kindergarten to first grade is a big milestone. Kindergarten is mostly about learning through play, while first grade becomes much more focused on studying. My daughter loves learning and is always eager to practice, but I don't put too much pressure on her. At this stage, I simply want her to become familiar with school and enjoy the journey of learning. After I put the rice in the cooker and let it cook, the two of us head to the local market and then stop by a bookstore to look for the last book she still needs for school. Our neighborhood is very peaceful and surrounded by lots of trees, so the air is always fresh and pleasant. It's a wonderful place to live. To be honest, life in Vietnam isn't as difficult as many people imagine. In the suburban areas, the air is clean, the pace of life is slower, and many families grow their own vegetables, fruits, and flowers at home, instead of buying everything from the market. As we get closer to the city center, the streets become much busier, with more traffic and dust. The city where I live is Sóc Trăng. That was its former name, but after a recent administrative change, it is now part of Kunta City. We stopped by Vincom shopping mall to look for my daughter's school book and buy a few things for lunch. Vincom Plaza was built in Sóc Trăng back in 2019, but I didn't visit it until earlier this year. Everything still feels a little new to me. Yet life here is surprisingly modern and convenient, very much like living in Ho Chi Minh City. Even though I live in a suburban neighborhood, it's less than 5 kilometers from home, so it's a very short ride into the city. Unfortunately, the bookstore staff told us that the first grade Vietnamese textbook was sold out. So we went upstairs to the supermarket instead and picked up a few groceries for today's meal. The Winmart supermarket here sells thousands of everyday products, especially fresh groceries, household essentials, and many exclusive brands. Whenever I can't find what I need at the local market, I usually come here instead. Normally, I shop at traditional markets because they're a little cheaper. But since we were already out today, I decided to bring my daughter here so she could enjoy the outing while we picked up groceries at the same time. A bitter melon, some tomatoes stuffed with ground pork, a box of cream puffs for my daughter, and a pack of milk. Altogether, today's grocery shopping came to about 139,000 Vietnamese dong, or around $5.50. Cream puffs are one of my daughter's favorite treats. She absolutely loves the rich, creamy filling. I guess most children can't resist foods made with cream, cheese, butter, milk, and all those sweet, comforting flavors. Parking a motorbike in the underground garage costs only about 2,000 Vietnamese dong, or around 8 cents. It's very affordable, so people can come here to shop, eat, or spend time with their families without worrying about the parking fee. After that, my daughter and I got back on the motorbike and headed to another bookstore to look for the missing textbook. She was starting her very first extra class that afternoon with a retired teacher, so we really needed to find it. Thankfully, we finally did, and the book cost 25,000 Vietnamese dong, which is just under $1. On the way home, I stopped by a local market to buy some rice paddy herb for our meal. It cost about 40 cents. Our home is located in a planned residential neighborhood with 12 different roads leading into it. The streets are laid out in a grid pattern, making it easy to get around. This area is also home to a night food street. During the evening, it becomes much livelier, with food stalls, drink vendors, and shops selling clothes and shoes. The house next to ours is currently under construction, so it's quite noisy in the mornings and afternoons. I'm glad to have a little peace while I prepare lunch before the workers return and the sounds of construction start up again. By the time we got home, it was almost 11 a.m., so I started preparing lunch right away for my daughter. I first warmed up the stuffed tomatoes in the oven. Then I crush some garlic. Stir-fried the pork, added the tomatoes. Bitter melon is one of the healthiest vegetables we eat. It's low in calories, high in fiber, and packed with vitamins C and A. It's also rich in natural plant compounds that may help support healthy blood sugar levels, which is why it's often included in weight loss and diabetic-friendly diets. It also contains powerful antioxidants, such as catechins and gallic acid, which help protect the body's cells from damage caused by free radicals. Sliced the bitter melon and cooked it with 2 eggs. Finally, I picked through the fresh herbs, removed the damaged leaves, and our simple homemade lunch was ready. After finishing the cooking, I went into my small storage room to prepare the orders that needed to be shipped. I sell anime and manga toys online. It's quite a niche business, so there aren't many customers, and I only receive a few orders each day, just enough to support the 2 of us. Today, I had 6 orders. They brought in around $20 in sales, but after paying for the products, platform fees, and other expenses, my actual profit was only about $4 to $6. It's not much, but every little bit helps. Once the packages were ready, my daughter and I sat down together for our simple lunch. Our lunch may look simple, but it includes vegetables, protein, and a good balance of nutrients. This is the kind of homemade meal many Vietnamese families enjoy every day. It may be modest, but it's wholesome, nourishing, and something I truly appreciate. My little girl is such a sweet and well-behaved child. She's still too young to help much around the house, but I love her with all my heart. She means everything to me, and I'll always do my very best to give her a happy life. After we finished eating, I washed the dishes, and right about then the delivery driver arrived to pick up the orders. I handed over the packages, and that wrapped up our morning. It was now around 1 p.m. I went upstairs to bring in the clothes that had been drying since yesterday, then helped my daughter settle down for her afternoon nap before her class at 4 p.m. This video has become quite long, so I've decided to split it into 2 parts. In the next video, I'll share the rest of our afternoon and evening together. While she was sleeping, I turned on my computer and got back to work, hoping to earn a little extra income for our family. If you enjoyed spending the day with us, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to our channel. Your support means so much to us and encourages me to keep making more videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.